if it's possible, if it were possible, to sew knit fabrics on a Davis vertical feed. So there are sort of two problems that you probably know about with stretch fabrics and sewing. One is the needle might not work as well as you want and you might drop stitches. So the thought is, ooh, do I need special needles, ballpoint or stretch knit needles for this machine? And the other is, because you're sewing with knit fabric on a single needle, without a reverse stitch, so reinforcing stitch, are the seams going to pop? So I thought I'd run a test and see what we can do. So this particular fabric has two different ways of stretch. So I forget what they call this fabric, brain fail at the moment, but if you look, one direction has a different stretch than the other one. So that's less and this is more. So this one is more likely to pop than this one. But what I found is that if I set the stitch relatively short, and I'm using Ceraflock thread here, so it's an elastic thread, and just the standard 12-point needles, I'm wondering what would happen. So I ran the test yesterday and it seemed okay. So I just need to make sure it's a fairly short stitch that you need. Probably something like 12 stitches per inch. And let's see what happens. So we're just sewing away as normal. So this is the lesser stretch direction. Once we get to the end, I will stop and just pull it out so we can do an inspection. So the tension's set quite loose as well, and then so no popping. So that one's okay in that direction. And inside, quality of the stitches is very good, surprisingly, and didn't drop any. So the one advantage of this type of machine, it's a really long needle. So the chances of it dropping stitches, I find, with this shuttle bobbin, is they're less inclined to drop stitches than a lot of the other ones. So this is the bigger stretch, so let's try this one. And as you can see, it's curling here, so we'll just pull that out of the way and off we go. So I'm not pulling, stretching, or doing anything. I'm letting the needle feed mechanism of the Davis do its job. So I don't really have to get involved except to let it feed it, which is nice because sewing knits is not a lot of fun sometimes. I don't do a lot of knit sewing, however, I do from time to time. One of the biggest things I do is darn socks with these machines using the Singer one. So I tried this out last night and it worked extremely well. Probably the best results when darning socks in the hoop. So let's see what happens now. No pops. So you could do a double stitch as well if you want. However, if I turn this over, I now have kind of a hat thing. Strange shape, but no problems. I was surprised how well this works considering the age of the machine. But it's really good. So you just need elastic thread. I would imagine this will work on most with this kind of thread. That's why I love that kind of thread. Most single needle straight stitch machines as well. However, for most of them you will need to put in a ballpoint needle. But the needles on this machine, they work flawlessly. Thought you might find that interesting. Now, just as a point of interest, I'm going to show you this up close for my first test. what you can see there is two of those stretch, one didn't. So with the larger stitch, which is probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches per inch. So that would work out to roughly, say, 3, maybe 2.5 stitches per centimeter. Then the stitches do pop, so you do need to do smaller. But you can see once I went to the smaller, these are the pops, you can see here. But the stitches that I did after on the smaller stitch length, just adjusting it a bit, flawless. So really, really interesting. Bye for now.